What is going on, all-terrain nation? Whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, or these badass Broncos we like to drive. This is your all-terrain nation, and I am your host, David Boyd, alongside my beautiful co-host, Kelly Boyd.
Howdy.
Wow, so anticlimactic there. What is going on, everybody? Man, I hope we have a good show tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about our adventures over the weekend. We've been trying to do this for so long. We've been trying to break in the new Bronco properly, and you've seen us do little bits of here and there, and it's honestly, it's what time's allowed.
Yeah,
I'm busy, either normal job, I'm a person in the community alongside Kelly. We are part of the softball association here. I coach, I umpire, and I'm also an auto journalist, and so busy time. And finally,
and we're parents on top of it.
Well, there's
the last thing, apparently.
I guess there's that too. But we finally got to do it, Kelly, and we're gonna get into all that. But how's your Monday going?
It's going all right.
Yeah, your back's been out a little bit, Kelly. Like the idea of Kelly going off-roading was a little bit iffy. I was like,
yeah.
And
Nurse AJ actually asked, was like, "How's my back?" So I'm on day 8, day 8 of my back being out, and yeah, I'm through my steroids, but I'm still like pushing through. I told him, I said, just so you know, we're not doing anything on Saturday and Sunday when we hit there. And yes, I realize it is Monday, but folks, what is going on with us is that we literally have tonight.
Yep.
You have tomorrow's happy hour. I leave the house at like 2:45 on Wednesday morning to go to the airport.
Yep.
And I meet Becky with Bronco Wild Outdoors in Austin, and we go to Horseshoe Cave
Bay,
Texas.
Austin.
Horseshoe Bay. Horseshoe Bay, Texas, to meet up for the off rodeo that night for our happy hour, and then we do off rodeo on Thursday. And then we figure out something to do on Friday before we leave on Friday, and I come back. So my week is already gone.
Yes. Congratulations, 502
Yay!
Bourbon Cruise. Bronco was delivered today. That's right, man. See what happens when you become an ATN member? You support, and we make things happen. And
that's
also,
awesome.
Andy, always coming in clutch, sir. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
We do appreciate all the love and the support that you guys offered. It means a lot. It does help. It does, I would say, help feed a poodle like Johnny's car care, but we don't have a poodle. I have a mutt. I could bring the mutt up, and he wouldn't fit my arms or anything. But thank you.
2 kid mutts that it helps feed.
Right. But first, before we really get deep into this show, Kelly,
yes,
do your thing.
All right. So I always have to say hello to everybody. So let's go to the top. So Stephen Rapp, welcome in. And I have to look at these like questions as we go.
We'll get to them.
Honest, welcome in, sir. 502 Bourbon Crew. Of course, we said hello and congratulations. Airplane Mike on this evening. Jeffrey Babb in the house. M. Peugeot. Not sure where he put his pants, he said. Nurse AJ, of course, in the house. And Dirk Connor joining us this evening. Mark Young. Bronco Wild Outdoors, overlanding for fun, and Bronco 78, and Michael Cooper, Terrence Mooney, Andy Ackerman, of course, hello. Stephen Rapp, which said hello. Stephen, want to know what it says that you also do?
What?
Like for life.
Oh, land surveyor. Engineering field.
And YouTube Car Spotters Guide in the house this evening. Jessica Dunn. And thank you for your thoughts about my back. I appreciate it. Amanda P.
Look at all the names in here tonight.
What? I have to get clarification on made you return change your return flight, Amanda. Let's see.
Flights are being like canceled left and right, but I don't think it's not with Southwest that I know of.
No, I actually have heard Southwest is having some stuff. So I'm like, that's why part of it is like you get in on the first flight of the day. Yeah. So that way, like if you are pushed, at least you've got time.
You get those pissed off guys flying the plane. Yeah, that's.
No. I'm saying at least
I need a double, please.
If it's the first flight of the first,
Flight of
you
the
have
day.
more chance at getting on a flight.
Actually
that day.
getting. Okay,
Yeah.
I got you.
Now coming back might be a big issue because it'll be
Tim
the
got his
last...
OBX today.
Yay! Congratulations.
Congratulations, man. That is awesome.
That is awesome.
Seeing more and more of that. And
Maki fan in the house. 4 high, 4 low. Ryan Woolman in the house.
And if it were like seriously becoming a member or helping support the channel, Terrence would have been like he'd had 5 Broncos by now.
Yes.
So I only work well on the East Coast part, Terrence. California and me, we don't get along for some reason.
G Willikers in the house this evening. Mobile Moto joining in. And okay, I think
for now we got
everybody. If I didn't get you, don't. It's not personal. It just means that I.
All right, you had saw some questions or something, whatever, too, right?
Yeah. So let's see. So Stephen Rapp said, "Friends, do I have a story? I'd like to email you to keep the info." Hold on. Oh, I guess it's in the chat, so you got to do it anyway.
Oh.
Small numbers right above blend larger than for build date.
Let's see. Email you to keep you informed low down, but it might help inform some. Small number right. Oh yeah, we have a video on that, Stephen.
Yeah. We have a
window sticker.
Yeah,
video.
If you search All Terrain Nation window sticker, it actually comes up. But I'll see if I can find the link for you.
You guys are going crazy with the super chats tonight, man. Thank you guys so much, man. You guys are always so kind to us. Yeah, so
I will grab that for you, Stephen, right now, actually.
Kelly put that in the link for you. Let's see. Andy says you have a monkey. I'm trying to catch up in the chats here.
We have mutts of kids.
Yes. Let's see. Jessica Dunn was all excited. I think she was interested in that Ford Raptor R. I think she was quite a bit because she was asking about price earlier. So let's see.
Yeah, I think that was on Instagram or Facebook, maybe.
But thank you, Stephen, for that that $9.99. We greatly appreciate that. Seriously.
Oh, click on that, Jessica.
Oh, wait.
Right here.
All right.
So Becky and I will have to get together and see. So Jessica actually messaged us because we are going to have some time on Friday that we're not really sure what we're going to do with the time on
look
Friday.
At me. I won't be there.
I'm just like making a comment. Because we are looking for some time to fill on Friday. So definitely let me know because maybe
over link for fun. Tim got our link for that video.
Yeah. Oh, cool. I was just going there.
Let's see. And anytime we're in anybody's area, hit us up, man.
Yeah.
Like to meet our friends here.
For sure.
Well, let's see. Anna Smith with that 888. Your unfiltered redneck in Kentucky. I know what's in your hand, sir. And I say cheers is what I say. I gotta break more into the whiskey you sent me, honest. Back in the day, these guys were sending me whiskey like crazy. I loved it.
Yes.
I'm not saying send it, but
that may or may not have been when we had physical address.
That's true.
Too.
That's true. Well, as long as the PO box people don't shake it, I think we'll be all right.
That's true. I don't know.
Hey, this sounds like a 7-year. Let's see. The King.
I just put a question up there, sir.
Sorry, producer Kelly. Finally got my wild track.
Hey, congratulations.
Yes, that is awesome, man. That is very, very awesome. I hope you sit in that seat and you cried. You just tears of excitement.
Wow. How brutal you are.
We didn't wait that long. We thought we waited.
Know.
So
I'm just saying you better have cried. Like you're
right.
so
that's right.
Cocky about it.
No, it's an exciting time, man. I don't know. Was it getting the Bronco or our daughter being born?
Wow. I'm gonna say just be careful.
I'm gonna say baby, the kid. Right? The kid.
You're on 10 tonight.
Oh man. It's a good night. It is a good night. But
and overlanding for fun. No, Dave did not just say send it. We do not just send it.
What was you had one up? I apologize.
Let me find it again.
Honest says bourbon. We went to Jack Daniels.
We did go to Jack Daniels.
I got a video coming up about that. If my son ever edits it, he wants to start getting into the editing. What do you have mounted by the AUG switches?
So we did the Mountains to Metal Squatch basket,
and he was on actually last week's live
last
stream.
Monday.
And yeah, under $100. I think it's just for the little bit extra storage it offers, well worth it. It's got where you can, if you want to hang your CB from it, got attachment areas for that. Well worth it. Mountain Metal, they were on last week, and super nice guys. Super nice.
Yeah, and actually what I really like about it too is that we posted, I think it was Seeker Bronco was asking, does it take like the visual out? And so I
open air experience.
Yeah, so I actually posted a picture on Instagram and I think it posted to Facebook too, but you can actually see from the bottom up, you can see what we think are pretty little faces, I guess. Sort of pretty little faces.
Put it up here.
Just so you can kind of see how the open air
no,
changes.
I didn't bother me at all. So let's see. So pop this up here. A little bit of internet magic. And but no, this was a nice little deal. They full disclosure, they sent us over to us for this to try it out. I liked it a lot. I bought stuff from them before, and that's how they found out about us. They seen a review we did on their Molly panel.
Yeah, we did I did an install on their passenger Molly panel.
And that's how they found us, and very nice. But I like, as you can see, you can attach, it's got little slots, Molly slots. I'm not hanging a bag or anything from that. But if you wanted to attach like clips for your CB or whatever, or get creative with it, I'm sure there's a ton of different ways. You could always hang a magnet light on the side of that for quick access. You pull it down. I mean, there's a ton of things you could do with that thing, and really, really nice. Oh, wait, shameless plug, Diabolical Ink. Let's see. Let me pull this out here just for a second. I think you said you posted a picture of there, right?
Yeah, right there.
There it is. All right, add to stream, and this is as much room as it takes up of that open air experience. So if that takes up a lot of room, in your opinion, it doesn't bother me at all. Like I said, we keep our glasses in there. I may not. She took her glasses out of the Ray-Ban bag or whatever it was, and I told her, I was like, you might not want to. You might want to pull it.
Yeah, just because it is. I mean, think about it. It is
some airflow.
Up top,
yeah, some airflow going through there. But no, I've liked that thing a lot. And another shameless plug: if you're on Instagram, there we are, All Terrain Nation Media. Find us there. We post lots of different content. Obviously, we post a lot of Bronco content because we're Bronco enthusiasts. We may be auto journalists, but we're Bronco enthusiasts, and I'm gonna love that silly thing.
But we're gonna give you our unbiased opinion.
That's right. Either way, I mean, because I love the Bronco. If I find something that's a pile of shit on it, I'm gonna call it out in a heartbeat.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
And Peugeot with the 545. Look at that.
Thank you, sir.
Send it brought to you. Oh, pew pew. What else we got going? Did I get Andreas?
I don't think you did. Thank you, Andrea, for that super chat.
If I could find
I think you said it.
I don't know. I put it up there if I could figure out this stupid technology. That's why I brought Kelly in. So I can drink more.
See how this works?
That's right. But
no pressure.
Once again, thank you for everybody. Let's see. You have
Terrence says has a story. Wild track for $58,000 in Santa Barbara, Perry Ford, but they're asking $89,000 for it.
Yeah, it's not
$31K over.
It's not getting any better. And as we reported last week, they've already done what they did last year. They did around 34 to 36,000 Broncos last year on a half year, by the way. And they've been struggling this year with all the chip issues, but they've still already got like 55,000 Broncos, something like that, the 50s out already at halfway point. So they're going to get 100,000 out this year easily. So that's why I'm seeing more of our friends here.
Yeah.
You're starting to see them getting build dates and they're getting shipped out. So very excited by that.
Yep.
Let's see what's got right here.
Brent
Kelly
says, took delivery of my Wild Track Haas 3.0 2 weeks ago. Took almost 2 years, but couldn't have been a better experience with Two Rivers Ford, which I'm seeing a lot of Two Rivers happy folks. I've not heard anybody say they're not happy with Two Rivers.
So when we ordered ours, obviously just through the zip code, they sent it to
our dealer,
the local dealer, which I was like, you know what? I'm bought from these guys a long time. Before, when I've bought from them, they never like screwed me over, but it's never been a great experience. So I left it there. But I was hearing move it to Two Rivers Ford, like they're honoring blah blah blah. And I almost did, but then I was like, you know what? I kind of like being able to drive to the dealership for me.
Yeah.
And we even talked about trying to go to Granger and all that stuff, which Thank God we didn't.
Right.
But yeah, no, I'm glad
For the one time I'll say he was right.
and I got it on video.
You know, if I think you're right about something, I will admit to you being right. I have no problem doing
Nurse
that.
AJ has not seen an eruption green in person yet. Wow.
Wow.
It's crazy. Oh, let's see. Very merry Bronco to you. I'm catching up in the chats here. Okay, we got a Mark Young. There we go. Live to celebrate your anniversary of officially 2 years of waiting for his Bronco. Still nothing for it to show for it yet. What the fuck, Ford? Hey, that's what this was made for. This little brown stuff in this glass. Cheers, Kelly.
Cheers.
Yeah, Mark, I'm sorry, buddy. It's what I hate to say it's well worth the wait, but there's so much
we
fun
can
to drive.
easily say that because we have our Bronco.
Yes, no, trust me,
So
I feel
we totally
like
empathize.
a jerk having it a lot
We
of times.
We do.
But no, I'm telling you, don't give up on it. I mean, what did it cost you? $100, and it still hadn't cost you any monthly payments yet. So I know it sucks not getting the cool thing that you want, but hang tight, man. Hang tight. And thank you for that in 1985, because you guys know the weird numbers are. I like the weird super chat numbers. And all right, so one time I'm going to sell myself one time. We have a membership. There's a link at the top of this. I've highlighted it. We've reached 40 members, and that sounds like a lot, and it is. And we appreciate all 40 of you. And we've had probably up to 40. 40 is the max we've hit. But we've had people come and go, which we, no hard feelings. And but one thing I want to say, it's $5 a month. I get about 360 of it, something like that. YouTube takes their cut, but it does, believe it or not, helps the channel quite a bit. So I appreciate that. I would do this whether you guys offered us a first penny or not. We just love talking to you guys, interacting with you guys. So, but if you want to help support the channel that way, cool.
And it helps us bring you different content.
Yes. And Patreon, we're working on a way to, I know some people like Patreon. I'm looking at you, Andy. I'm looking at you. But some people like to do Patreon. And Patreon, honestly, is a better deal for us.
Yeah.
They do not take much at all. But I just haven't figured out a way. I'm stupid. Okay?
We're green.
Let's be honest. I'm just not the brightest guy in the world. But thank you. That's the sales point of the day. No more sales talk. And this is not brought to you by Monster Rehab, but it should be.
No, you missed 2 little things.
Well, I apologize.
We have Teespring.
Yes.
If you're looking for merchandise.
allterrainnation.com.
allterrainnation.com, and you get like options of like cups.
I have a better version of this, by the way, too. The better logo on there now.
T-shirts on there. And we do on All Terrain Nation, we have 2 areas for merch. You can actually go to the Teespring where the cups and there's T-shirts there, but there's also stuff that we actually have in hand that we can ship out. And I have been
this shirt, by the way. So
yeah, this one's an exclusive. Don't show your butt. Nobody wants to see your butt.
We're getting the money.
Nobody wants to see your butt.
Yeah. But we have this shirt.
This is exclusive to our website.
Yep.
And I have these in stock in hand.
Wait, they're in hand? I don't see one.
There's a whole. I'm not getting up. It's over there. But I've been shipping within about 24 hours, so pretty quick. But anyway,
all right.
That's
so
it. No
done
more.
selling. Now let's talk some off-roading and you guys, if you have questions, put them in there. Kelly highlights them, and if we don't get it to them as soon as you do it, just know we will get your questions. It's pretty cool. It stores, technology. G Wilkers, how many of the folks here got any kickbacks from their dealership? The money Ford allocated a whole back. I told you guys a long time ago that was just a PR move.
Yep.
You would never see any of that stuff. A couple people did, buy the bottle of whiskey or whatever. Trust me, I asked our dealership about it, and they were like, "What are you talking about? We don't know anything about it."
We don't know about that.
Sure you don't, but I guarantee you bought a bunch of stuff under the customers' names and pocketed money from Ford. Now, let's get into off-roading, Kelly.
Overlanding for Fun said you need to clip that where I told you were right.
Oh, no, damn right.
Please.
That's going to be the background of my phone. You all know. Background on my phone. Did you have something else?
I'm going through the stuff.
Well, I wanted to get into tonight's topic a little bit.
Oh, start with there.
All right.
And I'll start clicking.
All right. I have a brother who is late to the party. He now wants a Bronco, doing a lot of mods. His specs around 40. He has money bags. That's what it would cost ASAP. 50, 60. Best guess, Big Ben manual hardtop. I don't know.
One of two ways.
I can't bring myself to spend $60,000 on something that costs roughly $40,000. That's just me personally. You're not getting the coolest tech. If you get the Sasquatch, yeah, you're gonna get front and rear lockers. The sway disconnect yesterday proved to me how valuable that is.
Well, and we had this conversation about, like, we kind of talked about this a little bit, the difference between.
Let me finish this real quick.
Okay.
Sorry, I know because we'll get into.
I'll lose my train.
But anyways, there's deals to be had. There's dealerships that have them on there that'll just sell them for MSRP. You just got to really do your homework on that. So, all right, Kelly, go ahead.
So we actually kind of had a little bit of a conversation about the difference between the different trims this weekend. We actually kind of talked about it. Is like my thought on it, because I know you've said, why is there a base and then there's a Big Ben?
Oh, we were talking about this.
And we've had these conversations on live before, and you all know that he's like, nobody needs a base. Like, if you can't afford, don't be in here.
No. That's not what I said. If you can't afford, no, I said a base should be a base, and that's it. You shouldn't get Sasquatch and that stuff. I didn't say anything about affording. She's gonna get me killed over here. There'll be a lynch mob out here.
But some of our viewers have said, hey, that's what we could afford. So
yes.
I guess
totally,
that's the conversation we had.
Totally get that.
Yeah. So
trust me, I don't want to pay the monthly payment we have.
Right. It's not fun. But anyway, so we were talking about that as like, here, if you think about it, it's actually like there's I think that there was some theory behind why they did the base, because you've got your early gen Broncos that
I don't buy your argument, but go ahead, finish out.
He doesn't believe my argument, but I would say from a marketing perspective, I think the thought process behind the Bronco, it's one of two things. It's either everybody has an opportunity to buy one so we can cover the market with them, or they also thought about the older Bronco owners that might be wanting a new generation, but don't want all the tech. And they want to have a bare bones vehicle that they can go ahead and modify and make it their own.
But what you call bare bones now anymore is still not like, it's still all,
I agree.
all computer controlled, transfer case and all that. It's not like it's grandpa's tractor out there. I got this lever that I'm just trying to pull down to activate something like.
But are the safety standards going to allow them to have?
No, not at all. I'm not saying you can't go back, but
no, but at the same point, you can try to make it work for.
It's a price point thing. They're looking for a price point for everybody. They want everybody's spending money with them. I totally get that. But I just said I would, as we rehash this old conversation, a base, in my opinion, to solve a lot of Ford's headaches they've had with the Bronco for 23, a base is a base.
Mm-hmm.
There is no more Big Ben. You got your Outer Banks, which is your plush trim. You've got the Badlands, which is your Rubicon-esque Bronco. You don't have a wild track, and I know that we have a lot of wild track people in here. I don't blame you for ordering that because it's really sweet. I'm just saying this is how my journalist brain works. This is how I see them doing it. And then instead of the wild track, now you have a Bronco Raptor, which, yes, price difference. You go, okay, 50 to 60. Now I've got to pay 75. Doesn't make sense, I know. And then you're going to have a Heritage Edition you're going to squeeze in there next year. So I think they could simplify the lineup slightly. I know the appeal of Sasquatch was every trim gets Sasquatch. Oh boy. But that's honestly caused Ford a lot of headache during the pandemic. There were part shortages, it was best laid plans just didn't work out for what happened, globally.
Yeah. I would say that I would definitely agree that we have seen way too many trims on this truck. You're allowing in I'm of a different mindset. Let people put the features on that they want to. But you don't need 6 different trims because that's what marketing decided that's probably the best option for this, blah 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 blah. So I think you go a little back to old school and say, here are your options of trims, or here are your options of features. you can pick and choose and build your own vehicle. You don't necessarily have to make it all.
No, I totally I get that. And if you go to Jeep, because I've been doing some building prices with Jeeps, their building price is a nightmare of all the stupid ass options. There's just too many. They make it confusing purposely, thinking instead of just being honest. Like I've said this many times, if people would just do a check mark for every option you want, 9 times out of 10, I think people would spend more money than they would have initially. But when you make it so confusing, and this is auto manufacturers as a whole, when you make it so damn confusing between your 302A packages or whatever,
right?
They purposely do that to force you into something. But just if you would be the honest company that allowed for options,
yeah,
or it's you get the base. Here's you can select. I mean, obviously you can select some options,
right?
But little check marks, people would be happier, and you didn't feel like you were forced into every goddamn thing. Because I was going through the Rubicon, trying to compare a Rubicon versus the Badlands, and there's no true way to completely like apples to apples compare them, because one offers something stupid like Ford. Why they didn't have a cold weather package with the heated steering wheel and the heated seats, I have no idea. No, you got to go to the higher Lux package for that.
Right.
I don't want those freaking options. Jeep, we've got a cold weather package. It's just that heated seats. You about damn near on any of them can choose it.
Yeah, because I think we have the cold. In Tennessee, we have the cold package.
No, but it came on our Gladiator.
That's what I'm saying, on the Gladiator.
Just simplify the goddamn thing, and we'll all be happier customers. I promise you. You give people 5 years of doing it this way, and nobody else does it this way. Your customers on their exits or their surveys for 6 months, all the stuff they do, will be much happier. But we got to get to tonight's topic. We keep just
CCHVAC says Kelly nailed it. I had a 1974, had to sell it 30 years ago, and I wanted a Bronco again. And if I could get crank windows, I would have. Base Sasquatch.
I think honestly, base should get crank windows. There are some things like that. I'm 100%. A base should be a base, in my opinion, and that's perfect example. CC, it should not come with power windows. And I know at the end of the day, it used to be power or roll up windows were cheaper. Well, now nobody wants that stuff as much, so it is more expensive, honestly, to do the non-powered windows. But force people into the next package. And I think there's a lot of people that would love manual windows.
Ooh, last one before we go.
We're never going to get to tonight's topic.
Yes, we will.
Thank you guys all for hanging with us, by the way.
Jeffrey Babb says, saw the colors for 23. Area 51 and Hot Pepper Red are gone.
Well, not officially just yet. But I would say I think Hot Pepper Red was a disaster for the Bronco. People, and you remember, these are my opinions.
I was gonna say I don't know that it was a disaster. I don't think that's the appropriate statement for it, but I do think that, and I'm biased, I think getting rid of our color was a disaster, and I think it was dumb that they did it. But like we've talked about too, is I feel like the reason they did it is because people didn't commit to that color straight out of the base. But we know it's also,
sorry, that was driving me nuts. The phone wasn't on.
But we also know it was a tri-coat color too. So like it's a more difficult color.
Well, and then what's the blue? Antimatter?
Antimatter blue.
People, that's a color we would have actually looked at had we seen one in person for real.
When we saw it on a gas can, and that was not it. It was not enough.
The new Ranger Raptor R gets antimatter blue.
Oh, imagine that.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
And horrible video. It just does not photo well. That color does not. And that was part of Ford's launch, which you'll hear us talk tomorrow on the Happy Hour, by the way. Same time, same channel. But we're going to debate that between that and the TRX. But yeah, no, there's certain colors. Obviously we know we're going to get that with a eggshell, something blue, whatever. That's coming, and there'll be a couple new colors. Kelly, can we now get to tonight's main topic?
Go ahead.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, which leads us, you were talking about the sway. So people are asking about the sway disconnect. In this photo, when I saw you had to stop. We didn't stop here for a posing picture. You had to stop because there was somebody in your way.
Yeah. And
I was like, oh, that's a cool photo. I'm sitting here filming all this stuff. So I snapped this photo real quick. But that right there, look at the flex of that. Now, a couple things with our Bronco, if you're new to the channel, 2021 Badlands Sasquatch package, mid package. Not that matters in this picture. But
Empage says no topic talk.
As you can see, this thing, the wheels are stuffed. Now, I put non-Sasquatch fenders on this about 2 weeks ago. I think it just gives it a little cooler look. There's no practical reason to do this other than it lets the wheels stick out a little bit. And I don't know, it just kind of gives it a little cool off-road look to it. But look at that wheel. You can see, look at this thing stuffed right into that perfectly. Like you couldn't have stuffed that wheel any better into that.
You're welcome.
But look at the flex we're getting here. And I think I have a couple better pictures, but is that the most flex that a Jeep can do? No, it's not. But we were since your last vehicle was a Nissan Xterra, a 2009 Nissan Xterra with independent front suspension. She wheeled the piss out of that thing, had a blast with it. There's no way you could come close in that vehicle to getting this kind of flex without just taking your sway bar off, which that vehicle was not designed to do that, which can damage them. They can flex too much, ruin CVs and ball joints and stuff. But riding in this thing like this with that sway disconnect, with this full coil setup system on this thing, we were talking as we were going down the roads. I get in my buddy's JK Jeep, beats the shit out of me. And I love that thing. It's a fun looking vehicle and it's fun to drive. But we were going through like rock gardens like this. It was like, I was all over the place.
You felt like you were in your old Jeep.
Yes. And I get back into this thing and there's a little bump to it, but it's like night and day different. Like just primo riding.
Well, and I'll be honest, like going into this off-roading trip and my back being out, I was like petrified.
Yeah, I was nervous.
I'll be honest. Like I was absolutely petrified that I was going to be miserable all day. I had backup plan to like sedate me if need be to make it through.
You had a bottle of vodka is what she was saying.
No. But I did have my painkillers on standby. But and I drove most of the day, or at least up to lunch. I drove up to lunch. So and it was like the rockiest part, I would think. So to say that, I mean, that's pretty huge because like I'm uncomfortable sitting.
Well, right and our other friend Kelly, I've been trying to get my buddy Jim and Kelly, who they're big Ford people. They've got a Raptor. They got a first gen Raptor. He loves that thing. He's just been a Ford guy forever. Has a Wrangler. He loves Jeep Wranglers. And when there was no competition there, nobody made anything like that. So I've been bugging him forever. I want to get him as a first drive on video. But he won't drive. He will not drive this thing because he knows what's going to happen is he's going to see that it's a way improved ride versus his Wrangler. Not shitting on Wranglers. We have a Gladiator. I love my Gladiator. Trust me, when I sell it, it's going to break my heart just a little bit. But night and day difference on the trails.
Yeah.
Just more comfortable. The seats are so much more comfortable in this thing. But the flex of this, you can see. Now, I do have Bronco busters on there. You can see my little Bronco busters there. I haven't put the little spacer or whatever they call the seal in the rack and pinion just yet. But I knew that I had a feeling I watched enough videos on this trail, and we have never done this trail before. So there was a little bit of hesitation of like,
and we don't have backup.
Right. So there was we were the only independent front suspension out there. So if we break something, sorry. But I put the Bronco busters on there just for a little bit of extra security. I mean, I couldn't tell you whether they did a hill of beans or not, but
we made it off the trail without any brakes.
Doesn't hurt to have that stuff on there. Yep. So, I thank you to Bronco Buster for making those, and they gave me a set to try out. So, in full disclosure, they seem
we'll give you our full opinion on it. We did not put them on until we went to this.
Yeah, I literally just put them on the night before. But ride quality, great. The exhaust, there was a comment. There's been a couple comments, and I highlighted it here. Let's see.
Right there.
There it is. There's my guy, Adam Weber. Thank you, sir. I don't know that video did it justice, but just the whole trip had that little idle growl. And you have to admit, nobody's else's sounded as cool as that.
I wasn't listening for the exhaust.
I was, because I was filming this.
I wasn't listening for the exhaust. I was just going, okay, are you spotting me correctly? Like, are you telling me the right thing to do, or am I watching your hands?
That's a whole nother live show.
That is a whole nother live show.
But we were a little rusty at first because we haven't got to do any fun off-roading like this in almost a year.
Yeah.
So it had
It's
been,
been a minute.
a minute that we got to kind of just, not be careless with the vehicle, but with the Gladiator, we've always been a little careful with that, knowing it was going to go away.
Right.
This vehicle, it's not going anywhere. So if we, fingers crossed, we don't put a dent in the side of it, it's not like shit. Now we got to trade this in next year. No, it's just not going anywhere.
Right.
But yes, I think the exhaust sounded great.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
now, as far as trails, Kelly, where were you at? We got into it. We did that nice little climb. It shows in the beginning of the video, and I'll pull that video up so we can kind of scan through it just a little bit. And guys, let me know what you thought of that video, by the way, because I wanted a lot of nature sounds in that. I didn't want a lot of talking in that. I wanted you guys to kind of experience how we would. But you did that little entry level rock climb, and my buddy Jim said the guy we went with, he had done that trail before, and he was
Testing us.
I think he was testing us to see what would we do there.
Well, it's kind of funny too, because after we'd gotten off the trail, he was like, well, when Jim told me his buddy had a Bronco, we were like, what kind of Bronco?
Yes,
not a Bronco Sport, right?
Oh yeah, because that says to Ford's confusion.
Yeah, it does. It says to Ford's confusion, because we're like, no, we got this. But yeah, he definitely tested us on that first, like, to do it. And I was like, it legit was the easiest. Like in this thing, in mine, I probably would have slipped a little bit. In my Xterra that I had going up, what we ended up going up. Is this the first?
Yeah, that's the first. This
one?
is the first little climb, and it was a fun, very reminiscent of something I would have done in Moab. But obviously this is true slick rock, not what they call slick rock. And so this was literally your first time putting it in 4-low, and
don't
just
mind
seeing,
my RBF.
Yeah, and
that's
just,
always my favorite.
Just seeing what this thing could do.
Yeah.
And what was your impressions right here, real quick? I'm sure you were slightly nervous.
I was anticipating slip,
Yeah.
like, just because I'm just kind of used to having a vehicle that you're going to slip a little bit in this, but I literally was in 4-low. I didn't have the sway bar disconnect off yet. I literally was in 4-low.
Yeah.
That's it.
And a lot of torque to this thing. Like that's something with the older vehicles that you've driven and that we've had. Like our Xterra, the 261 horsepower and plenty of horsepower, but you put it in 4-low, the Xterra never felt like it was low enough.
Yeah.
This, is perfect for crawling like this.
Yeah, and you'll see in the video some where it looks like I'm like hopping a little bit down obstacles, but that's just the way that it's braking for me as I go, because like I'm not pumping the brakes as I go down. It's just kind of slowly dropping the vehicle down.
We did try to mess with the one pedal, and just I always had somebody up our butt where I couldn't just sort of just like monkey
let
with
it do
this
its
a little
thing.
bit. Let's see. Look how pretty that Bronco is sitting there. Let's go through this. All right, so here was the first rock. It's in chronological order, the video you watch. And so I'll be honest, right here, I seen this, and we've done more extreme stuff than this.
Yeah.
By this is not close,
but not as an expensive a vehicle.
That and this first time, normally we kind of slowly ramp into, because we want to learn the vehicle. And with this, it was like, well, okay, we have skids and stuff, so I'm not worried about it. But
yeah,
it is that I learned to have to learn a different vehicle to spot you in with, or you have to kind of, if you're looking at me, like, it's just we have to learn this vehicle a little bit. And vehicles are completely different, man. This is completely different from what you've learned on till now. So but this was a fun little climb here. There's our buddy's chromed out JK. But did good here, man. Remember, these rocks, they don't always look as big as they are, but those are 35-inch tires, well, 34 and a half or whatever.
Right.
And I mean, these are little speed bumps here, but just to put in some perspective that, you take your little 33-inch.
There's the hopping I was talking about, where it hops just a little bit as you're going, because I'm not putting my foot like
when you're learning braking.
Yeah.
Here, how the vehicle brakes too.
For sure.
Sway bar disconnect is off or on. And I think you mentioned it in the video because I'd asked you about it, and obviously you could see the button for the sway disconnect on. You just dropped it in 4-low, and we used manual mode.
Yep.
So keep it in first.
Yep.
So it basically brakes for you, rolls down the hill for you. Look at the sway. You can see. Look at the flex there. I mean, is it the most? Like I said, it's never going to look as impressive as a Jeep can do.
Right.
But I was blown away by what this vehicle could do in this situation. Right here. I mean, look at that. There's. It just doesn't look as impressive as it actually is driving in this vehicle. But let's see. Pull this off there. So Kelly, what was your impressions after you get on the trails for a good 30-40 minutes? How long did it take you to feel comfortable in this vehicle?
I don't think there was ever a point that I wasn't comfortable in it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I ever
A lot
was.
of confidence in it.
Yeah, there was I knew it had the tools that we needed for it. Plus, I just didn't know what we were getting ourselves into on the trails. So I think had I known what we were getting ourselves into, I might have been a little more nervous going in.
There was one point, I think it was right here, where it's coming up here. You're a lot. We talked about this with the other vehicles with independent front suspension right here. So a lot of times with other vehicles that aren't intended to be more, I mean, like the Nissan Xterra, the 4Runner, they're tuned to be more street than true off-road.
Right.
And so there's a lot of weight shifting of vehicles sometimes when you're like right here where you're coming down. A lot of times right there, the body would have hopped and we would have kissed that rock slider. And this, the complete coil setup of this thing just was soft as can be. It was just really, really nice. I was very impressed with how it handled. What's up? Yep, you can tell. Let's see. But no, maybe it's right here. There's one spot where you can tell the weight transfer was going to drop it a little bit. And because the other people that were there, it's not there. The other people that were there, they dropped a video today. You can hear her comment and going, "Oh, she's going to kiss the frame."
Who did?
The other lady that was filming in the yeah, and she's like, "Oh, it didn't." Yeah, it was great. Here's some plus. This is I don't care whether you buy it or not. They're 67 designs. You've got your phone there. We got the GoPro on there. You can have another phone there. How do you think that was for trail use? Having
for me, it was great because I literally could put my phone up there and I didn't have to worry about it. And then all I had to do was remember to push the GoPro on. Which many a times there's actually some footage I watched today where I was like, dang, I forgot to hit the GoPro. And you were like, don't worry, there's more. You can go ahead and click more or start it now. But yeah, I really liked it. Like as we've done with it, I was a little bit nervous with it because it has 2 screws in it. Literally, it has a screw in the plastic on the right or on the passenger, a screw in the plastic on the driver, and then it's got one in that accessory mounting. And I was a little bit nervous on the off-road perspective that it was gonna like essentially rip out of the plastic, but I was actually quite comfortable with it.
I want to get to this question real quick. Are Jeep Wranglers new out of the dealership or reliable if kept stock? They're honestly, the Jeep, the last engine they had in this was the one they had come out of the minivan. They had a lot of gasket leaks. But other than that, they've been fairly reliable. I know Stellantis, whatever you want to call them, FCA, what they used to be, Daimler Chrysler, they had some issues, but the only problem we've had ours checked once for a weird clicking in the front end.
The Jeep.
Yeah. Other than that, I wouldn't say I've not had any.
What did they end up saying? What did they replace on it?
Oh gosh, I can't even remember. I'd have to look it up. Maybe a ball joint or something.
It was a ball joint was out on it.
But other than that, no,
we hadn't even done anything with it.
I would have zero issues taking one out of the box and going right to here. I mean, it's no different than
it's just about your clearance, whatever your clearance would be on it.
No different than the Ford Broncos. I want to get to this photo real quick before you jump into something. So this is why I wanted this exhaust. Do you see it? You don't see it. And this is why on these kind of trails, was a great trail to experience this exhaust. You never had to worry about. And I'm going to say the Wrangler that was in front of us, I never seen him bash either.
I didn't.
But out of sight, out of mind. We don't have to worry about that. I've seen many Wranglers with the mufflers just beat to shit, man. Just so this is why obviously I like the little revies with it too. You know, the little growl. I do like the little bit of growl, but I'll say going over there, it wasn't extremely annoying.
Says you.
It's not very loud at all. We're gonna order a decimal reader, so you guys can see what it is. But it's not very loud. I honestly, when we got that AEWE exhaust, I was expecting a lot louder than it is.
Oh well, I'm really glad it's not what you expected.
All right, get your questions.
So Bronco Baldor, thank you for that super chat, sir.
I tip my hat to you, sir.
Hello, Dave and Kelly. Are you going to keep your current fender flares any rub?
Yes. So I'm assuming you're talking about these.
I think he's talking about the ones we've got on there right now.
So the non-Sasquatch fender flares. No, I wanted that, as you can see up front here, just gives it a little bit of extra poke, man. Now I do have spacers.
I was gonna say you've got spacers on them.
1.5 inch spacers on there. But obviously my state does not your state, and some states are just assholes about.
Ours doesn't require our tires to be completely covered. Some states do require that.
And I just think it gives it a little bit more aggressive off-road look. Does nothing. There's no benefit to this at all. And you saw some stuff earlier. I mean, you could take the fenders off and probably no difference. But I just, with that 1.5 inch spacer, it was more about looks. There's no benefit. Obviously, the wider track you go for adding spacers, it does a little stability, but not probably enough what it costs you.
One thing I will say, which I know you didn't cover in the video because I didn't help you produce that video other than drive the vehicle. But one thing I will say is that the tires, because I know you were like, I was pretty impressed with the tires. There were a couple of times where I was driving and you were ahead filming that I did feel slippery.
Well,
in them.
You're going to feel that.
I know, but like in areas that I should not have felt slippery. So I will say that use caution with the stock tires if you're in mixed wheeling, because we would go through some, and I wouldn't really experience it in the water. It was the mud. So it was the mud that was tracking, and I'm assuming just like the rocks do, that the mud was tracking in the tires a little bit, because like I said, I was slipping in areas where I didn't feel like I should be slipping otherwise. So just kind of something.
Well, a lot of area, if you look at the siping in these things, a lot of area for them to kind of soak in mud.
Oh, sure.
And obviously you need wheel spin sometimes to clean that out. We were never in any. I would like to try these things in like some really thick mud just to see how they dug in and out, because the one tire that I've ever seen do great in mud is the Goodyear Duratrax. Luke with Lifestyle Off-Road had a set on his old vehicle, and I watched this. Luke used to love mud, and of course mud, in my opinion, just tears up everything. But I watched him with those tires, just they kept digging and ripping through mud, and I was very impressed with them. These, I wasn't like, you guys know I'm a BF Goodrich guy, though I did look at a tire that is on the leaderboard, but on the board, that may be something unexpected. I saw it today and I was very excited by this tire, and I don't want to be excited by this tire, but I thought they performed very well. Now we aired down to 30 PSI. Now, normally I like to air down about 17, 18. But I didn't want to, we aired down honestly for a little softer ride. Other than that,
and then it yelled at us.
Yeah. Well, one thing plus about this thing was I love the air gauge in it. The TPS monitoring system is like great. So when we aired back up, or when we were airing down, it was tracking us live, which sometimes some of the older systems didn't.
It was a smidge delay, but for being what it was,
and
was
when
great.
we aired back up yesterday, it was nice to be able to have that gauge.
Yeah. And I actually got an alert through the Ford Pass. Yeah. It was like, hey, your tire went into a scary area, so don't be doing that.
Yeah. But as far as the tires, I don't want to like these tires, because I just, for one, all the gravel they pick up. But I thought for what they are, they're a C-rated tire. So they're going to be a softer tire anyways. I thought they performed pretty well, man. I was pretty impressed with them. So
and thank you, Bronco 78, for that super chat too. In honor of finally breaking
Bronco 78.
In honor of finally breaking in Kelly's
I thought
Bronco.
I thought dudes, man. I thought we were bros.
Kelly's
Wow.
Bronco.
What else we got? I see a few super chats.
Ali G, thank you for that super chat. Bought my Titan 6 weeks ago, on the list for a Bronco. Looking for tires after I lift. Mickey Thompson BFG, Nitto, or something cheap like Amp.
I don't ever put cheap tires on my vehicles because usually my family's involved.
Yeah.
And I used to know guys who used to run retreads, tread rights. And they're like, oh yeah, but I can get a 35-inch tread right for like $150 versus $250 or whatever they were at the time. And I was like, that's the last thing I want to put is a cheap, maybe Chinese made tire.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And I'm 75 miles an hour down the road, and all of a sudden a tire explodes for no reason or just whatever. So I personally, I know sometimes it matters in the budget because we're looking at 5 tires with this thing.
Yeah.
We're $2,500 probably at Christmas time for tires on this thing. Yeah, trust me. My wallet's not going to like that. But hi, Siri. But whatever works in your budget, go accordingly. I'm a big BF Goodrich guy.
Get what you can get for the amount that you can spend.
Yes.
Let's put it that way.
Nitto is a good tire as well. All right, Siri, stop.
Quit saying her name and she'll stop talking to you.
All right, that's enough of you. All right, but Nitto's not bad. I think wear life on Nitto's not as good as the BF Goodrich.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got?
Let's see. G. Williker says, do you think that Ford will ever go to independent suspension all the way around?
I don't think so on this. I know you can, your ultra racers out of Johnson Valley, they'll be like, oh, those do that. But I just think for towing and stuff for this kind of vehicle, I know the Explorer and the Expedition stuff, you can go, hey, what they tow. I think for this style vehicle, you want that independent rear suspension. Now, the one I would think that you might see go is a Raptor. I could see a Raptor going at complete independent suspension pretty easily. What else we got?
Jay Michigan says Bronco goes in for the first oil change and tire rotation. I asked for all 5 to be rotated. Dealer said they only do 4. If I wanted all 5, I needed to provide a diagram of how I wanted them to be rotated. So kind of funny you say that because we actually asked for our 5 to be rotated. And they said, oh, we don't do that. We don't rotate 5.
Ford does not understand. This is a dealer thing. And I think this is a training issue that sort of got
dropped in the middle.
Well, maybe not even thought about because they don't handle this style
That's
vehicle.
What I'm saying, dropped, not thought about.
You call your Jeep dealership, they're going to say, yes, we do all 5.
Yep.
They're just going to tell you that. You can call any of your Jeep dealerships and they'll say, yes, we'll rotate the 5th one in. There are diagrams out there. I want to say Overlanding for Fun has a good video. Tim, if you'll drop your video link in here, because that's a pretty good video where you talked about rotating tires. And I want to say you have a diagram on that. So there are diagrams out there. It's not rocket science, but it just sounds like your dealer not wanting to kind of play ball.
Hey, welcome in, Mountains to Metal.
Oh,
welcome in tonight,
sir.
Let's see. Stephen Rapp, thank you for that super chat. What about the window safety recall? I might be behind, but can you have a different dealer than selling? Fix it. Yes. Any Ford dealership.
What I'm going to assume they're going to do is they're going to call their local window company anyways. That's not something they do.
But you can take it to any dealership.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be the one you bought it from.
Yeah, no, it's a warranty issue. And what they'll do is they'll set up a time. They'll probably try to have a specialist there that can do, like, they'll pull in 4 or 5 that they can do all at once. They'll pull that window out. They'll clean all the sealant off of it. They'll put fresh sealant on there that's supposed to, proper amount. Pop it back on there and let it set. They'll tell you leave the windows and everything rolled up. Don't slam your doors, and you're good to go.
Xterra Force says, had to switch from TV to phone so I could make this comment. Speaking of Dave's butt, whatever happened to the tennis skirt challenge? Wasn't that 6,000 subs? Back to my TV now.
No, that was going to be a Moab video. And damn it, if my life didn't go to hell. And no, I would do I love doing. There's a picture of me in a American Speedo that I had to do for the old NNP.
Yes, he did.
I lost a bet. And it's me in a goofy American Speedo.
That is true.
I told those guys if they ever release that, I would kill them. So
Lone Wolf 1904 says, just got back from an overlanding trip in Colorado. Got to use the sway bar disconnect a couple of times, and I have to say it was very nice.
Yes,
I agree.
Somebody was asking about Black Diamond, what I thought of the Black Diamond. The timeline of our vehicle, I wanted a 2-door Bronco. Common sense kicked me out of that one, but I was going to do a 2-door Badlands with just non-Sasquatch. I thought, well, I can put tires on it and go bigger later down the road. And then Luke with Lifestyle Off-Road and Kelly were both like, room wise. And I was like, okay, it makes sense. Our daughter's 12, but she could have got in and out of a 2-door pretty easy. It's not ridiculous, but it is nice having a door.
But I also knew there would be a time that I would end up at the back seat, and I don't want to be in the back seat of a 2-door.
I don't think you've ever been in the back seat of this one
Yet.
It could happen. Hey, drive-in movie. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, so I switched to a Badlands, 4-door Badlands, and Kelly didn't know anything much about the Broncos at the time I did that. It was a price point for me because you got the rubber flooring, you still got the vinyl seats, and I got everything really I wanted except for the sway disconnect. And I went to Sasquatch at that point. And then once we did Supercell East,
and we weren't even, let's be honest, so we weren't planning to buy a new vehicle. So when he came downstairs and got his debit card, and he had showed me the Bronco, had you showed me the video?
Yeah, I showed you the launch video.
Yeah, you showed me the launch video, and then he comes downstairs 2 days later and grabs. Are we day 2 or day 3?
We're day 3.
Day 3. Yeah, he comes downstairs, grabs his debit card, and I knew if he was getting his debit card, there was something up. So I was like, what are you doing? So we came upstairs and we put our reservation in. Sat right here and put our reservation in. And I really didn't know much about it, but we weren't planning to take on a new car payment at the time, which is part of why you were doing the Black Diamond, and like we weren't going.
We were that base. Not base, but
no, we were the lower
trying
end.
To be the
budget because
friendly.
It wasn't. This didn't come up at a time where we were like, we need to get a new vehicle, so we're going to go ahead and put a reservation in. No, this came up because he wanted a Bronco, and when he saw from the launch video. So
I watched that launch video probably a dozen times
before you.
I would rewind it. No, this is that night. I would rewind it, and I was just like, this is a game changer for me because we were heading down the Wrangler path.
Yeah,
that's where we were heading, and I like G products. I'll review anything and enjoy probably about anything we can. There's always a good point to something we drive, but this was just different to me. So I watched that a bunch. I went to work the next day going, man, I got to watch that video again.
Yeah.
And your parents came into town and you were kind of distracted by there. And I thought, what's $100?
And I watched him come down with his debit card.
It's refundable. And and the rest.
And then I came running up here and I was like, what are you doing?
The rest.
So then history. We agreed, whatever. And then we went to Supercell, and then they took me on a trail and they used the sway bar disconnect, and me having wheeled lots before, I was like, what the hell is that? We get that right? And he goes, no. And I said, why not?
And I did this. I was like,
and thus was the birth of our Badlands. But I did see the 360 camera, and I will say, if we could have the 360 camera, Mom would be super happy.
That is, obviously there is a price point to everything,
right?
But that is one of those things that I don't need the Lux. I can't remember if 360 came in the high package or not. I haven't looked at the packages in a while, but that is one of the things that the larger screen would be nice. That's not a deal breaker for me, but having some of those options.
See, and for me, I don't even need the bigger screen. I would like the 360 camera because it would have been nice when we were wheeling.
No, and we had talked about that a little bit because our camera was glitching a little bit.
Yeah.
She would put it. I don't know if you're putting it in reverse or whatever.
Yeah, I put it in reverse to back up on the trail, and
obviously the camera kicks on,
and the camera kicks on. But then you'd keep going, and it wouldn't come off.
It just stayed on.
Like I've actually got some video of us driving down the road and it showing driving down the trail and showing the camera. So like I told him, I was like, dang, that would actually be nice. I was like, I wonder if it's because we're off-roading, it registers that. But then it went blue at one point. It kind of freaked out on us. So definitely
every once in a while the operating system is a little glitchy for that.
In the sync. Yeah, it is. But that's how we ended up with the Badlands from that perspective.
Let's see. Would have been a big deal to disconnect manually. I'm sure, Jeep has that where they got the little easy, quick disconnect and you just push the bar out of the way. I don't know on this if how easy that is, because on the Badlands, it's in the rear, and I think it is on the rear as well for everything else, but I don't know how accessible it is. But I'm sure somebody's going to come up with a quick disconnect for it. But having that easy button in Peugeot is, I can't say enough. I know there's other channels out there that'll argue you don't need lockers, you don't need this or that. And that's sometimes I think that's ignorance, because they don't have it, so they just assume because they're able to do things
right
without it that you don't need it. But speed kills. Having as much flex as possible is nice on this kind of trails. Now we all wheel in different climates and different terrains, so my expectations for off-roading is different from people, say, in Texas, maybe, or people that live towards Moab. We're pretty similar to, as you see the terrain here, it's pretty similar to Colorado.
Yeah.
What we do. So I think they would probably agree with me, but I'm sure somebody will come out with that. And lockers for the win, man. There was a couple times having that front and rear locker. I love that Ford made it to where you can just click the front locker on without hitting the rear. So I want to say the Rubicon, you're required to put the rear on, and then you can activate the front. I love the fact that I can just do it like an air locker, just push, have complete control, because sometimes you're approaching rocks. I don't need the rear. I just need a little extra grip for what's hitting the tires first, and good to go.
Honest says you have a sway bar. I have cup holders.
God damn it, Honest. He's so honest.
I know, he's so honest.
Hey, cheers to you, sir.
Yeah, Brent says the 360 is in the high package. My favorite Bronco, nice to have feature. Yeah, I would love to have that.
Yeah.
Like, especially after this weekend, it would have been really nice to have that.
What else? I know there was what you got. Bird dog.
Yeah, get that one.
Let's see here.
Night, Dirk. Thanks for joining, sir. I know
Yes,
your
sir.
early day comes early.
Thank you. Bird dog Overland Dave should trade the Gladiator in for another Bronco, his and hers. The problem is, the damn thing would be 7 years old by the time I got it.
That is true.
No, I would, if money was no object, I would have a 2-door in a heartbeat. I don't know that I would off-road it, but I don't know that I would like that. I just would like to have I may even just do a Badlands 133s and be happy.
Yeah.
But no, my next vehicle is the Ranger Raptor. That's the next long-term vehicle for us. Any more questions in there while
I'm working through because they're taking care of some people.
All right, so back to this thing. This old girl. Play this a little bit while we're going. Oh wait, perfect. Nice little flex shot. So here you can see the sway disconnect doing its thing, allowing this thing to flex pretty easily. Once again, these weren't crazy. There's one part on this trip that Kelly took a wrong turn to Albuquerque. And
didn't know I was taking the wrong turn.
The Rubicon Wrangler in front of us, he wanted just a little bit more challenging.
And it was at the very early on the trail, so I didn't know him yet to know that he was going to take more challenging line.
And I mean, honestly, after looking at it, I don't think it was anything ridiculous, but right there. I want to pause this in just a second so I want to talk about this bumper.
There was mention of the bumper that said that they
the
bumper looked great, but they wished that it could hold a bigger winch. But the reason it's like that is because it looks like a bad underbite, and that's why they don't go bigger to allow it to keep the capacity of it bigger.
Yeah. So if you look right here, look at the you still have all the factory clearance there.
Night Bronco Wild Outdoors. Thanks for joining.
Yes, thank you, Dwayne. You're still getting good approach, and there is a give and take with that. Now we're using a 9,500 pound winch, which is more than adequate for this thing. I know a lot of people. I've seen people wanting to do the Badlands.
Night Airplane Mike, safe travel, sir.
The Harbor Freight winch that's 12,000 pounds. I'm not against. Obviously, the more capacity, the less it's straining the winch when you're using it. The rule of thumb is 1.5 times the vehicle weight, so this is just right at what we need. But I want to say they do have ways of spacing it out a little bit further from the grill if need be. You just have to talk to Lifestyle Off-Road on that. And the cool thing about working with Lifestyle Off-Road is they can make changes if need be for one-offs. They are very willing to work with you. Obviously they have their design, but they're willing to work with what they have. And honestly, they've based this around one of the more popular winches. So
well, and honestly, in this video, there's a better place where you can see the clearance, but I don't remember where exactly it is.
We'll
but
get to it.
There's a reason that it's at the angle that it is, because these guys that have designed this are wheelers.
Yes, it was designed by people who
an engineer that off-roads is the one that actually manufactures it, and they do some heavy duty off-roading. It's not it's not this kind of I mean, this is a little more technical than anybody brand new would do, but they do some boulder working. And Jeffrey Babb, thank you so much for that super chat, sir. We appreciate you
so much, man.
Thank you.
I always blown away by the kindness of you guys.
G. Williker says, I want to see a Ranger Raptor versus ZR2 comparison.
Well, we got ZR2 is in a week, I think. The Chevy ZR2, they're going to show it. I don't know what kind of numbers we're going to get. I know maybe about right now the new GM Blazer EV is being launched in LA. I didn't have much interest in covering that. So here's another good spot of, now this is a little bit bigger, bolder. Video never does this stuff justice, by the way, but this is a good spot where you can see this thing just doing what it's supposed to. Look at the sway disconnect right here. That doesn't you go, well, that's not that impressive. I've seen Jeeps like twist like crazy. It's more impressive than you think if you've ever driven off-road just with the sway bar on, and it's causing the frame to have to flex. This is allowing a little less push on the frame. Let's see. But I mean, in size comparison, look at the tires. These are 34.5s. They call them 35s. Nice little drop here. And this was a tough spot for me filming. I'm trying to film you and spot you at the same time. And finally, my buddy Jim grabs my camera and takes control of it.
It's actually kind of funny because our daughter is sitting in the passenger seat and she goes, Mom, how do you not get nervous that Dad's standing right there? And I was like, it's just, we've wheeled together for a long time and I know what I'm looking at. He's gonna move or
get ran over. Either way.
Well, no, he's gonna move or I'm gonna stop. Those are the two options.
All right, so here was one of the better spots of this is where Kelly took the honestly, I don't think it was any harder line than what, of course, our friends went around, like Jim and Kelly, they went around a little easier spot because they're open diffs. They don't have lockers or anything, so they needed to go just
and they didn't air down on their tires either.
Well, because they're on 20s.
Right.
They're fixing that, by the way. The chrome wheels, they bought it that way a long time ago and just haven't changed it. But so this was a nice little climb for you, or a drop down.
Yeah.
This a little shaky cam here because I'm trying to hand it over.
Yeah, Overlanding for Fun said you needed a gimbal. He actually has a gimbal.
I didn't bring the big camera stuff out. I don't like to on this stuff because I don't want to drop it on these rocks. But a nice little drop here. Look at our daughter there. She's just she's having fun.
And at one point, she actually started spotting me on the trails. It was cute.
Yeah. But there's a spot here. You'll see why this bumper. Right there. Look at that.
Yep, there it is.
All right. Some of those underbite bumpers you would see would be dragging at the front of this thing already. The Lifestyle, and I don't care which one you buy. I'm talking about what I own.
And what
they try to keep it as close to the body as possible, but still give you nice approach angle. So that's, they designed it around function over form, and then form came in after they got the function they wanted out of it. So I liked what it did here, and your driving here was very nice.
Thank you.
A lot of good control for a vehicle you didn't know much about. You're learning as the day went on. A lot of nice control here on this. You see the little braking there, but that's just learning the brake, how the feel of the brakes as well. And right here, some of the shaking you see is her with the brakes trying to find the drop. So you'll kind of slightly pump the brakes, waiting for it. You can feel the vehicle dynamics start to shift down, and you just want to ease down. Like right here. perfect right there. You couldn't ask for any better of drop into that. Now you scrape just slightly on a skid, but
I was told I didn't need that after all. He said we didn't need those parts.
Wait.
So look at Sydney with her hand over.
I saw it.
That's funny.
Still climb. Look at it. Really see the bumper right there, and Jim's thumb every so often. But you approach this stuff like sometimes as a spotter, man, you're just trying to figure out the best way to not beat somebody's vehicle up, and I would be careful with anybody's vehicle. But that's that. Pause that. We could be here all night just going.
Yeah,
through
it was
video.
like you're going through the whole video and
takeaways from the thing as far as rock crawling, definitely was I was very impressed with it. Have I seen and been in Jeeps that do probably better? Of course, but this is complete. Other than the Bronco, I say it in the video of, hey, this is completely stock. And I wasn't thinking about the Bronc Busters being on the tie rods.
Oh yeah, I didn't think of that either.
It's not performance wise doing anything for it.
No,
but I was very impressed with this vehicle. We did have let's see, little flexy here. I don't know if this will. So I parked in this hole right here. I didn't realize I hit the rocks. I mean, I realized it once I heard. But they wanted to do some kind of weird group photo, and I was like, okay, well.
And we couldn't understand the idea of what the group photo was.
So I just pulled in this hole, man. I was like, all right, and didn't even think about this right here. Yeah. Look at that. That was awesome. Sydney, she was sitting in the driver's seat when I pulled in there. She was just like, because they teeter just a little bit. She was just like, and
this tells you how far I've come, because this didn't freak me out seeing it like this, but we were on my very first like true off-road trip with him years and years and years ago.
Right.
And probably 12 years ago, because almost 13 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
And we were actually wedged in a spot that was a mud rut. And I didn't know that we were completely fine, but it felt very uncomfortable to me.
Mm-hmm.
But like looking at that, I'm like, it's fine. It's cool. But at that point, when I was in that rut 13 years ago, I was like, get me out of this truck.
Oh, she said,
and it's funny because actually Saturday they talked about that. They were like, Kelly, you've come a long way from what you used to be, because Jim and Kelly, who we went with, were the ones that were actually in the vehicle when we went and did this whole adventure where we were like this in a vehicle. And I literally told Jim that, because what he had done is he had gotten out of the driver's side rear door and let the door slam. And I was like, your fucking husband just slammed the door of the truck and is going to tip us over. Like, I totally.
This comes from a lady, though, that you didn't modify any vehicles. You just bought, or your parents leased a vehicle from GM.
Yep.
And you turned it in.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't do anything with it.
Yeah. So when he started cutting on a vehicle, I was like, what are you doing? We don't do those things.
I married some stupid ass redneck.
Pretty much.
Final little thing on this thing. Water forging. Obviously this is not like, this was just a fun little drone shot I was working on. But getting in some deeper water right here. This is my friend Kelly driving this thing, and Sydney was in with her.
Yes.
And Sydney said she left out a F-bomb, like, fuck these people, because she knew right then that she was sold on this little vehicle. But there was you can't. Sydney's face right here is just hilarious. See if I can find it real quick. But Sydney was having the time of her life, like splashing through water.
Well, and we had to make her go because she's been kind of a hermit this summer, just because she's been gaming and doing her thing. But you're gonna miss it.
You can
there it is,
kind of. Mouth just wide open. She was just having a blast. Water forging in this thing. There's a little slow spot, I think, right here. We were driving. Yeah, did perfect. No, look at that. Climbs right up that. No problem at all, man. So,
but you don't sit in it.
Yeah, that was our trip for the old Bronco, and I overall very happy with it. Mm-hmm. I would have loved to got it to Moab, and of course we will next spring. We'll unless something this fall would open it up. We can't go this fall. Next spring we'll have a blast. And challenging it out in the slick rock. Mm-hmm. Jason Boyd, where is this at? This is near Winchester, Tennessee. It's called Iron Gap Road. Mm-hmm. There's a few okay videos
Yeah.
on YouTube. One that I watched when a buddy was like, "Hey, let's go." We were gonna go to Kentucky. We were gonna go to
Land Between the Lakes.
Land Between the Lakes, Turkey Bay, and it was supposed to be like 100 degrees up there. And we lucked out; it was like 85 degrees here.
Yes.
Perfect weather to wheel.
Yeah, and we'd never found it, but we didn't know about this place
Mm-mm.
before.
And so he sent me a video of a channel that was there, and their music was so goddamn annoying, man. Good video if they just didn't put the music in it. And which I got criticized. My buddy Tim with Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk. If you guys haven't seen this yet, it's 19 minutes. I know it's a long one, but watch it for me. But I wanted a lot of nature sounds in it. You just hearing scraping and stuff. I didn't want to narrate the whole damn thing. And
Right.
Tim was like, "You needed a little bit more narration in that video." And I was like, I wanted people to hear the vehicle. But no, I ultimately had a blast with it. I can't wait to get it on the next trail. So final thoughts with this as for wrapping this video, that part of the video.
It did great. Like, it didn't.
Anything that you didn't, you were kind of like, eh. I mean, there don't have to be anything. I'm just.
No, I'm trying to think if there is anything. Like, just the camera freaking out a little bit, like the screen freaking out a little bit. That was just kind of the tech with that. With like in my exterior, we wouldn't have to worry about it. Like, not that I had to worry about it because it didn't affect our experience.
Yeah.
But at the same point, like we talked about, like the more tech you get in things, the more chance there is for the tech to fail.
Yeah.
So that's the only concern.
Didn't use goat modes at all.
Nope, we didn't use goat modes at all.
I'm just
sway bar and 4-low.
For me, I'm just old school. I just want to just like push that one thing and do what I wanted to do. Probably should have, but honestly, the goat modes, if you would have put it in rock crawl, it would have put front rear lockers on. Like, it just does that stuff automatically. And in my opinion, learn to wheel the truck by you pushing each one thing at a time. Learn what like the front lockers can get you in a lot of trouble, and they can be your best buddy. I've seen rear lockers in vehicles. I've seen people flip going up a steep climb, and they click that rear locker in, and I've seen trucks roll that way. So learn what each button does, and then get used to it and use the easy switch there.
Yeah.
Ultimately, a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this truck a 9.5 right now.
Oh, wow. Of all of them that I've wheeled, I give it a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's by far the best one I've wheeled. And I hate to say that because it's like, it's all the easy buttons. Like, I really, really like the easy buttons. Like, it's just easy to use.
Well, you've never had front rear lockers. Well, you've had rear lockers in your exterior. We just never, I was too lazy to hook it up.
But everything about it is soft. Like, from a perspective of like, it's reliable.
Actually driving it was, it just.
Yeah. You give it a little and a little bit goes. Like, it's not.
And I don't have any experience with the 4-cylinder version of this, but 300 horsepower in that thing. But the 330 horsepower, the torque we have in this thing, very balanced. I know this is Bronco Talk Live, and you're like, oh, they're just stroking the vehicle. No, I would call bullshit out on this thing. I just feel like it's a very balanced vehicle for what we did the other day. Now, give me another year or two after I've gotten to do more challenging things or different terrain, I may have a different opinion. But right now, this is the style of wheeling that we would go to Windrock and do.
Yep.
And very
I'll be
balanced.
Honest, I really liked that it was so much closer to the house.
Yes, be home in an hour.
Right. Bronco 78 says, was there anything you were surprised about with the Bronco on this trail? Just that it was so easy. Like, I really expected to slip more. I expected it to be, and it sounds bad, but I expected it to be a little bit more challenging, but it is just so easy to work with.
Yeah.
But I mean, we are very tenured with one another too. So from a wheeling perspective, so it's easy to listen to spotters and things like that and know that you can trust it. So there was nothing that stressed me out about.
I will be, when you go, because this week you're going to Bronco off rodeo.
Mm-hmm.
I will be curious when you come back and we talk next Monday about your impressions of things they told you to do.
Yes,
they're going to explain some of it. They're going to put goat modes in. They're going to say, hey, use this goat mode and do exactly what obviously do exactly what they say. And but I'll be curious of your impressions of, because I think the terrain will be similar.
Yeah.
Obviously they have that little Baja area where you can just get get into it and you and Becky have fun. But I'll be curious what your impressions are after somebody that's trained in this vehicle that knows all the fun little features of it.
Yeah, and like Becky had commented on a couple of things. It was like, you're gonna be so ready when we go to Bronco off rodeo. But honestly, I'm glad we did this before I went, because it does open up for me to ask more questions, because I hadn't wheeled it yet. I didn't we talked about the trail cruise control or whatever it's
The
called.
one
What is it?
pedal.
The one pedal. We talked about the one pedal, but never really experienced it. So I'm going to be curious to ask more about that, of tell me more about the one pedal. And that may be part of what the conversation is anyway. But to get my hands on it and have that experience before we go is great. So I'm looking forward to it.
Right. Let's see. And
but Jason Boyd got his truck, by the way.
I've seen that. Congratulations, sir. Congratulations. Can't see what. I'm curious what you're going to do with it. You're going to leave it alone, or you're going to have some fun with it. Let's see. Adam Weber. Technology capabilities from the factory were a game changer for me.
Yeah.
And honestly, so that is for a lot of people. Now, I've wheeled. I say semi-professionally because it's part of being a land surveyor. Like, you wouldn't think, but no, I've rock crawled in company vehicles because I had to get to places.
We were actually talking about that this weekend.
I've done this for 25 years, so I'm that old school guy. Give me the manual transfer case. I know it's locked in.
Give me the button,
and we're good to go. Now, there's definitely pluses by this, and I think for newer people getting into the and I don't know, Adam, if you are or not, but for newer people getting into the fun of off-roading, no, it's good. Like, the Gladiator still has manual transfer case, even though it's wire, but it's a manual lever. You put it 4-wheel drive and you just do it. You don't know exactly what, if you're new to it, it can be confusing, where this way you just turn the dial and it shows on your screen, rock crawl. Okay, I think I can rock crawl.
Yeah, because I'll be honest, having led trail rides, because I used to lead a ladies trail ride, and the guys weren't allowed to do anything. If they came along, they weren't allowed to do anything. To have the vehicles that had the manual had the manual 4-wheel drive and the transfer case, it was a little unnerving, to be honest with you, to have to do that, because there's a certain way it's got to be done. And if it doesn't, it's not going to go. And then you sit there and go, I start to doomsday and go, oh shit, is it broken because it won't go where I need it to go? Or is it just I have to do it differently? So I like the easy button. I like the ability to push the button and know that it's going to go if it's going to do its thing.
Women would like to push buttons. They're fighters. They're fighters.
Do you see what he's doing? He's stirring me up.
Let's see. Bronco 78 is asking about this trail. So Google Maps doesn't show the road going through. Obviously, it's kind of an abandoned road. We started in Tennessee and came out in Alabama, and then we brought roads back. So we went down. So you go up a mountain and you start going back down,
and you turn right on Iron Gap Road.
Yeah, but I would like to approach it the other way of climbing up, because obviously it
would have to be a dry day though.
Yeah, but the level would amp up probably by 10 just climbing up. I still think this vehicle's way capable, no problem at all doing it. But it's the first time we've ever been there. We will do that trail again.
Yeah,
in a heartbeat.
I wish we'd attract it so we could go down there and do it, because I know that there were a couple of turns he made.
You know what would be real? Well, so they've painted. It was color coded.
It was, but we didn't know.
I saw it, but anyways, I'm sure Onyx has it.
Yeah.
So payment ends now, Kelly.
You do drive the piss out of it. You've only had yours a month longer than me, and I've been to Moab and Caribou and have half the mileage as you. I don't know are you talking to us or are you talking to somebody in the chat?
Yeah,
because I don't know. I was gonna say, because I think I'm
trying to go. And guys, if you didn't get your question, go ahead and throw it at again if you had a question, and we'll be glad to.
Xterra 4.
Oh, I'm sorry. We were pushing the buttons at the same time. Beyond the Raptor, Ranger Raptor long-term vehicle. Why? Tell us more. It's the most exciting thing coming out in midsize.
And it's not because it's Ford.
No, has nothing to do with just being Ford. The ZR2, depending on what they come out with, could be the next vehicle. But from what I know of the Raptor, Obviously, there's the nameplate Raptor.
Mhm.
The 3-liter twin turbo that they're putting in the Bronco Raptor is going to be in this truck. The idea of potentially 400 horsepower in a truck sounds a lot more exciting than, for me, the Bronco Raptor, because I won't say I hate the Bronco Raptor, but it's not appealing to me whatsoever. The midsize, I like wheeling midsize trucks a lot.
And I do not.
Kelly does not. And the idea of having a truck around the household is pretty fun too. So there'll be more to come. Subscribe to the channel. And speaking of that, we've had upwards of 100 people in this stream, and I only have 56 likes. Makes me a sad panda. No, if you guys would smashing the like button helps people find the channel, and I greatly appreciate it.
So what's funny is that you don't know that we use the sad panda emoji at work all day long.
Oh, really?
Like, yes, like the sad panda. It's like,
Yes.
that is.
I like it when he falls over.
Yeah, he's just sitting there. That's a sad panda that we use.
Wait, what's this? Dave needs the like button hit for a free. I take whiskey. I'm not eating pizza right now.
Adam says, Dave, I'm inexperienced enough to enjoy the goat dial while I used to the individual tech needed.
No, and I don't mean to sound like I'm pooping on anybody about that.
No, and I didn't take his response as that either.
Yeah.
I think he was just letting you know, it was like, hey, I like the goat mode, but I could use the individuals too.
Yeah.
And Bronco 78, I'm sure there's got to be some camping around there, but it's not far from Huntsville.
I've heard talk of well, it was an hour from Huntsville.
Was it that far?
Mm-hmm. That's what the guy that was leading us there said.
Oh, okay.
But no, some of it's private out. I don't know how this exactly works, but
yeah, since it's actually a road,
yeah,
like we're not exactly sure.
That where we ate lunch at that Flat Rock area, that would be a nice little camp spot.
Yeah, but it's yeah.
But I'm just saying there's definitely some camp spots out there.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say the trail is long enough to justify camping on the trail is the thing.
Yeah, maybe you want to take your time.
No, but I'm saying
we started probably about 9:15 and we were done by 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a ton, but there's might be camping in the area. I would definitely say there's probably something in Winchester.
And there's more trails out there besides what we've done. There were some places that kick off, and I've seen a little more extreme stuff out there, by the way. What else we got, Kelly?
I need to do the off rodeo. How long did it take once you got it set up? So for me, I actually did the women's run. So my experience was probably a little different. So I would definitely just fill out the website and just kind of see, because I'm not really sure, Jason, to be honest with you.
I keep seeing stuff talking about,
because I know for the women's one, it was quick. Like it was quick turnaround because they were filling a specific date, specific spots, and everything.
I keep seeing them all talking about like New Hampshire fall colors they're bragging about and some ads. Honestly, I don't think it's too hard to get into these things because I don't think they're doing as well as hoped. And I have a feeling you see 1 or 2 of them go away in about a year.
Well, and for the ladies in here that were interested in the ladies, I have seen, and I don't know anything official, but I've seen rumblings of there maybe being a ladies only one in the fall. So if you have not filled out that interest form that we did when I did the ladies live like a month ago now. Yeah. I think, make sure you fill that out so you feel your interest in, because I did see somewhere that it said that the fall one in the fall is coming.
And rumor has it they're about to open it up to the public too.
So. I heard that they were wanting to get through a lot more reservation holders, but I think the problem is you've got reservation holders that aren't really ready, but you've got so many people that are also they bought them either secondhand. I know. Crazy that's even a case, but either bought them secondhand or weren't reservation holders that want to go to these events. So they need to definitely open it up from that perspective.
Yeah, they will.
I'm trying to see if there's anything else.
Well, we got a
the Pavement Ends was talking to M Peugeot. So not us.
Looks like we got ourselves.
M Peugeot's at 30,000 miles.
No.
Yeah, he said he is.
He just got the damn thing. He
No,
said
he said
1,000.
he's at 30,000 miles.
Earlier, he said he had 1,000 miles on it.
Valley dude. Yeah, I commute roughly 750 miles every weekend. So yes.
Oh, in Peugeot. I'm sorry. I thought I had him in Mobile mixed up. Oh, I don't doubt it. He drives the piss out of that thing.
Sorry, housekeeping.
Yeah.
Housekeeping.
We for some reason get porn whatever.
It wasn't porn yet.
Well, yet.
Okay, I think I got it.
Bronco 78 says Texas is already advertising to the general public. Shows how much I keep up with that.
Wow. I'm sure I'll find out more about that this week too.
Yep. Let's see. In Peugeot, I typically use 2 goat modes, Sport and Baja. Every so often, I have put it in rock crawl or sand.
So you like to go?
Oh, he like dude. He had if I remember, I had a little sporty Miata that he built, and he had a lot of fun things.
Yeah, Bird Dog Overland. I agree. They need to allow to go to more than one, no discount after the first one. Yeah. And I'm interested to see what's going to happen with ours because I did have to pay for myself and Becky and our insurance up front for our reservation. And then I know they're going to give us back part of it at least because of our because of being reservation holders. But I'll be sure to report to you all how that works.
So I keep seeing this thing about ODC. I don't know if that's if it's streaming me over there. I'm not a member of that. So if you guys could I don't know if we're talking to me there or what's going on. I've got it pulled up right here. Yeah, don't know on that one. Let's see. Let's see. We got here at least 2 participants that were added the day I attended Moab off rodeo. It all depends on availability, I assume.
I would say so.
Yeah, I would say so too because they want to fill those spots. We got some good. The Texas one, of course, being the first one, is going to have some solid. Who was the lady you interviewed? Trail guide.
Amy Clouds.
Yeah, Amy Clouds will be down there. Obviously,
Shelby Hall's going to be there.
Yep.
I know there's a couple other ladies, and it's completely female. Like they're all the guides and everything are female too.
How do you know?
Because that's what they said. Just don't even go there.
Is there paperwork?
Jason Boyd says, which we already talked about, but got 2-door Friday from Town and Country. It's awesome. Fuel tank is way too small. About
did you get your tune? Jason was going to get a tune by
That's right.
Too.
You were.
They would have put it slightly. Did y'all see the Raptor R's got like a 38-gallon?
Good Lord.
Tank?
In the gas right now, it's going to be stupid.
The dealers aren't including a tank of fuel anymore.
No. Xterra Force says, I had my manual sway bar disconnects on a lifted 87 Grand Wagoneer. I'd much rather push button to reconnect that fool than putting the pins back under a muddy fender at the end of the day.
Yes.
I would agree.
The older I get, the lazier I get with that stuff, man.
Yeah, like we've talked about that too, is like I used to be all about like doing everything, and then I'm just like, meh, if I don't have to, like, why do it? Like,
in Peugeot. Oh man, I'm sure you can, man. Put some Daisy Dukes and some boots on, you'll be all right.
Rook One said we needed to come to Moab. We plan on it.
I've been to Moab many times. I love Moab. The plan was 3 days there, and damn it, and it just did. I mean, obviously, my mother passing. I'm not cheap shotting that, but like my son breaking his arm, like it was just so many factors that just kind of like.
You know why?
We were supposed to stop at the TFL studios. I was gonna do their podcast show they do, and it messed up a few things. So trust me.
Do you know why?
Why what?
It's because the universe said you were not going. Because it had to make sure that it threw everything at you all at once so that you knew.
Oh, maybe. Yes, my family did conspire against.
Yes.
I'm going to go break my son's other arm now. It's just because I have a big old booty. Hey, if you got the booty, put it on OnlyFans. That's what I'm saying. Let's see.
I was just getting ready to push that one.
Oh, I just filled up my big truck today. The pump shut off at $999.98. I don't want to. Oh, I'm assuming it's a it's a semi. I don't hope, but it's the only thing I can. Wow, that's nuts, man. If you, I know we got a few truck drivers in here, man. I tip my hats to you guys. You guys
Thank you
are
for
the
keeping us rolling.
of the salt of the our economy, really. Let's see what else we got.
Dave has a Blade Runner whiskey glass.
Do I?
I don't know.
Oh, maybe I don't know. I was looking back there, like, when did I get one? I don't know.
Steven, let me go back up to your question. I didn't see your question.
You know you have this on your computer too, right?
Yeah, but it's easier with the mouse on yours than it is for mine to scroll because mine likes to jump.
Or he can type it again.
Maybe this is it. Read that. Is there a question there?
More delay. They didn't know it was in their lot and had been delivered. No call, no update. I had to call Ford, who said, "Heck, it's been delivered. I want to pick it up and get out there." Well, ours was, we were tracking some of the stuff. You know, Bronco 6G they had some good trackers and even rail trackers and stuff, but some of the shipping companies just didn't update any damn thing. And it would piss you off because ours never showed delivered till after the next day we took delivery of the thing. And I did a video of literally the thumbnail of the video is where my salesperson texted and said, "Is this your Bronco?" Because they knew I wanted to film it driving off the truck. It was going to be a whole fun thing. And they didn't know that it got delivered. So I can see that.
I'm guessing I think I get your concern here, Steven, after I'm reading the other stuff, because you said I'm ready to pick up and said I might have a problem if it cracks. So I'm betting that your dealership is probably saying they don't want to give you your vehicle until the recall is fixed. Is that my understanding? Yeah.
Could be.
Is that what your concern is to why you're trying to take it elsewhere?
It's like a newborn baby.
Because of your terrible experience at that dealership, I'm guessing. That's my assumption of what I'm reading.
But two, it's like a newborn baby. You can go visit it. You can see it there. You don't have to worry about the insurance or anything till
that
you
is
bring
true.
It home.
No payments yet, just as long as they don't sell it out from under you.
Which I don't think they would. You'd have to be a really scummy. Really scummy dealer to do that.
I agree.
I mean, like ours.
Do you find arrowheads on your job or while out in the countryside? What do you think about?
We do find here in Middle Tennessee a lot of Indian,
Native
American stuff around here. And yes, we from time to time, especially on new construction sites where they take the topsoil off, you'll find all kinds of fun things. A lot of Civil War artifacts as well. And fun fact, the Nashville Predators hockey team, which I'm wearing their hat, go Preds, were named after because when they were building the Batman Tower, or the Bell South building as it's known, they found a saber-toothed tiger skull there. So that was kind of cool. Are you selling the Gladiator or keeping it? From a fellow Snazzleberry owner, Willie's owner. No, I am. It will be going up for sale in a week or so. Unfortunately, Kelly needs it to drive it. We'll be one vehicle again for a while.
Yeah, well, I need it to drive to the airport because my flight leaves at 5:10 on Thursday morning, and I wasn't going to make him take me to the airport at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Getting up that early. I'm already going to lose money on this adventure, which it's about the adventure, really.
I was going to say, wow, you're making it sound all like...
No, but as a business,
I know.
The content we get here, YouTube, and that's like the membership and stuff.
I'm not selling. Talking.
But YouTube's cut ad rev in half. So any videos that would have kind of broke even are now losing money. But we do this because we love this. Obviously, we love covering the industry. So that's not a big deal. But going into that video, I know, or the couple videos we may get from this, if I broke even on this one, that's a 1,000 win.
But my excitement and fun isn't.
Of course.
Valley Dude says, anybody went from 93, 92 to 87 gas? Yep, we have.
Yeah, Mama Bear won't let me buy the high test.
Nope.
I
Not
haven't
till
seen,
we consistently get in like 350 range.
honestly, I haven't seen a big difference in fuel economy. I did put middle grade in when we went on the off-road trip just because I wanted to. Who knows if it actually does anything really?
Because you're just sassy.
But I wanted a little bit of extra horsepowers if it did give me some.
So, Peugeot, funny you say that about non-ethanol gas, because we actually went on our trip on Saturday. We came across a gas station that actually had $6 gas.
Yeah,
because it was 100%
100%
gas.
gas.
$6. I think it was like $5.98, and I was like, "Holy crap!"
Let's go. Let's stop.
I was like, "Nope, let's not."
No, hell, our modern vehicle might explode on that.
That's true. It might.
It'd be like, hell, I'm out. I'm
Yeah.
done.
I was showing you the Thornton's gas we talked about the other day.
What do you mean? Oh,
you finally got to see what I was talking about.
The 88 or whatever it was.
Yeah, the E15 is what it was. So, yeah.
Let's see. No income tax. Oh, they're getting political. Let's see. I'm wondering now if I do a fill up more often on the 4-door. I don't know. We haven't really, honestly, fuel economy. Haven't seen anything.
$4.99 a gallon right now.
Ooh.
It is not that expensive here.
No, we're at 360 right now.
360 something. Yeah.
Of course, that's probably till the end of summer, and then we'll get the BS of
we're not even.
And it don't even matter who's in office. You get the BS every time around holiday season. Like, well, it's just consumer demand. You're like, nobody's driving any more than they were.
Yeah, I was just gonna look at what gas was today because I haven't been out of the house today.
3 or 435 in Indiana.
Oh, that's 100% for $4.99.
Oh, okay. Well, we were in a little town of Winchester.
We were, yeah. It was a tiny little town. Yeah, right now for regular gas,
near the
it's
lake.
$3.59.
It was near the lake, and a lot of your older boats that they don't want to operate on the E10 stuff.
So it's $3.59 at Costco here in town for regular.
Damn, it keeps dropping.
87.
I know they did open up where they're putting I guess in the summer they cap how much ethanol or whatever they can use, corn syrup.
Yeah.
So that our awesome president decided he's going to open it up.
You're getting political.
So that people can afford to drive their vehicles. All right, kind of final questions here, guys. What we got going on? Once again, if you smash that like button for me, if you haven't just yet, I do greatly appreciate that. If you've made it this far in the show, I say thank you. Hopefully, if you've made it this far, we do appreciate you.
Wow, Adam said it was $6.29 4 weeks ago. Now it's down to $5.19.
Damn,
that's crazy.
Jeffrey Babb says 461 Southeast
Pennsylvania. Wow.
He's close to that Ohio, where them Buckeyes live. My Bengals, man. Oh, there was talk one time about
you need to do a fantasy league.
Fantasy league for pro football.
Yeah.
Gotta figure that one out. Yahoo used to do it. I don't know who does. I haven't done fantasy league in about 5 years.
I don't do fantasy league.
Last time I did it, I won, and I was like, hey, let's just end on a win streak.
Mobomoto says Southeast Pennsylvania is Philly, Dave.
Dude, I get it now.
Yes, go Big Blue.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. All right, Nick Taylor coming in clutch.
We'll make great pets. Sandman, thank you for being here. And we're gonna wind this one down. If no final questions or comments, we'll wind this one down. Tomorrow, the happy hour. Which is all automotive. So come join us on there. That show's picking up, but it's not what our Bronco shows are doing. But come join us over there. We will be comparing the Ford Raptor F-150 Raptor R. And we're going to talk some of the highs and lows of that thing. And then we're going to kind of compare it to the T-Rex, the Ram Trucks T-Rex. And I personally...
I'm going to miss that conversation.
I know. I personally think the T-Rex is going to win out.
Because I'll have to be in bed.
I know. But I'm excited. Tim Esterthal with Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk will be on there alongside my co-host, Mr. Overlanding for Fun, Bronco Santa. Tim will be with us.
Nice.
Let's see. Why is the sky blue? That's a lot to do with the
atmosphere.
The atmosphere, yeah.
But you already know that question.
That's right. Roll Tide. Come on, man. Break the ice cream out. Let's see. Lensing effect, yes. That's why the sun the sun rises looks bigger, or the moon looks bigger when it first rises, and then gets smaller. So there we go. There is our science project of the day. So whether it be 2-wheel drive, Kelly,
4-wheel drive.
I guess it doesn't matter what you drive as long
long
as
as
you're
you're-
driving.
Broncos tonight.
You're stealing my line.
I did because you won't let me jump in.
Damn it! Smash you!
Hey, the next time I see you all, we'll be talking off rodeo because that'll be next Monday. Be the next time I see them.
Could be riveting.
See, you all got your smack.
Peace, guys. Love y'all. Thank
See
you so
ya.
much for all the support, and see you tomorrow.
Appreciate you.